Just 50 players remain in the $10,000 Six-Max event at the World Series of Poker, a tournament that has historically always been a success for Team Winamax. We remember Davide Katai's second place in 2016, filmed for your favorite series, and the 3 team members who reached the top 20 in the 2022 edition. This year, 2 of our crew have reached the top 50, Adrian Mateos and Pierre Calamusa. It's Pierre we're continuing to focus on, as he's been in particularly good form since the tournament kicked off. With $635,000 in chips, blinds at $10,000, $15,000, and a guaranteed minimum payout of $20,000, Pierre will now try to contain the Victor Blom Tornado, whose aggressive style from his heyday still seems intact in 2024. Come on, Pierre, focus!
Ace-9 on the button. I'm going to raise, obviously.
Raise. Seriously. Oh, okay.
Okay, Rocco calls. 10-9-6. I'm going to check back here. I really don't want to bet medium strength hands, potentially get check raised, and find myself in trouble for nothing. The jack, it's not a very good card here.
Oh, sorry.
He's all excited. What does he have? Check back, Pierre. This stinks. This stinks, but I think he can't really bet because I have ace-king in my range, so when he checks... Anyway, I'm still beating some hands in his range. If he has something like pocket fives, something like 7-9 suited, I don't know. Anyway, I have enough showdown value to check. It's going to be easy to play. Oh crap. He has the king. Any raised pot is now worth 100,000 chips. There wasn't even any post-flop action, and there's already almost 2 starting stacks in the middle. João Simão took a seat on my right, a quality Brazilian player. A few blind steals that get through, that's perfect. It allows me to stay in the game. The player on the button raises. King 10 from the big blind, a clear defense. He should have a polarized strategy, which means he should bet big with either a very strong hand or nothing. Okay, so he has a polarized strategy, that's true. That's it, he has a strategy. He bets relatively big, 55,000. I've studied the defenses too. Here the strategy is pretty clear. It's to check min raise as a bluff, and I have a very good hand to do it with.
Raise 110.
The idea is that since he doesn't have medium strength hands that would bet with this sizing on the flop, we're just going to attack his bluffs for the cheapest possible amount.
Can we get a cocktail? Can we get a cocktail like that?
It also gives him a defense line that's difficult because if you bet a hand like ace-4, for example, should he continue, should he fold?
I just want to see if
It's obvious, a hand like a gut shot can also be in trouble. Okay, he calls. Alright, now I need a card that favors me if possible. The 8 is a great card. I have a lot of 6s that are going to bluff like this on the flop. And here, I'm just going to bet my entire range with a small sizing. It's a card that favors me so much. 75,000. And if he calls, I'll have the option to go all in on certain rivers. He goes all in himself. Wow. Well, I have an easy fold. It's interesting that he used this strategy on a texture which is that wet now. That means I either have a straight or a set or 2 pair. Alright, it's not a big deal. Ace king on the button.
On a 35.
Come on, shove here, guys. With a worse ace, that would be nice. A good spot to double back up to almost 800,000.
Yeah, 14.
Finally, he defends. Okay, king queen 7, 25 effective. I saw him. He had defended king 2, so I'm going to have a strategy where I'm going to bet big with my good hands and check my medium strength hands and check my complete air also from time to time. Too bad. He couldn't have had king 2 like last time here. I would have taken everything from him.
No, you can do. You're pulling. I didn't realize that you shot like that. Pulling. Oh.
Isildur opens on the button. He's been very, very, very loose so far. I 3-bet him earlier with a somewhat similar hand, but this time I'm going to call. a small sizing on this board, which means he's probably going to bet very widely with his hands. With my 4 and my ace, which doesn't block any bluffs, I have an easy call. I'm going to have a bluff catcher that's quite interesting on many turns, rivers. The turn is a 3, that's not bad. Snap check. Okay, river queen. 0 interest for me to bet. In theory, if he bets, given how he plays, I'm going to have a relatively easy call. He bets 80% of the pot. Snap check back on the turn. What could he have? Something like king 2 suited. And then the random queens that would have given up and hit on the river. And that's about it. He's never betting pocket 8s with this sizing. Yeah, I have a pretty clear bluff catcher here. Well, I'm still gonna take my time. The pots are big here. Try to get physical tells. He's a player who comes from online. He's a player who still has quite a few physical tells from what I've been able to observe. I think my hand is, in theory, an easy call. But I still need to make sure. Is he capable of having 8s here? I don't think so, no. Call. Oh, the queen. Yeah, okay, he had diamonds too. Yeah, it was one of the value hands he was representing.
Alright, give me a high card.
He had it this time, but I don't regret my call at all. He's going to show up with lots of random hands like his Jack 7 from earlier, so I had to call that one. Alright, third, fourth table of the day. I'm not sure anymore.
Hold on, let me. Oh, we have 501. There it is. Ooh. Let me stop myself from making that mistake. That's his table. That's yours. That's yours. That's
Oh,
that's
me.
you. That's you.
Okay.
That's why I stopped.
And each time the field gets thinner. Bruno Volkmann, an online legend.
No.
Good news, I'm not at his table. Alright, okay. I think I have a pretty good table.
Hey.
Okay, I have Dimitrov.
Thank you.
This player, I don't know him, he looks like a regular. That's a very good Irish player. An Asian player who looks like an amateur. This Asian female player who also looks like an amateur. A rather good table, it seems. We have 2 amateurs at a table this deep in a 10K. That's really not bad. Seven, 8 of clubs.
How much is it?
30 plus.
18 deep. I can't do anything else but call, obviously. Come on, I've got a hit now. Wow. Flopped flush with a straight flush redraw.
Wish we were doing an episode on him, so I knew if I could bluff.
He checkbacks, I've studied that too. On the turn here, I want to bet small because even if he has the ace of clubs, he has 2 fewer outs to hit his flush. And I want to force him to defend hands like king, queen without clubs, hands like ace, king, ace, queen without clubs, which are drawing dead. And even by betting small, I'll still have the option to overbet all in on the river for 150% of the pot.
Last card.
The river is very nice. If he has a hand like king, queen now, it's over for him. If he has a hand like ace, jack or king, jack with a club, it's over for him as well. Alright, all in.
All in.
All in.
Come on, call. When he doesn't snap call, usually it means that He's gonna fold. If he had a pair or a jack, he would have called a long time ago, I think. Ah, too bad. Too bad.
Time to block.
Alright, a blind versus blind spot against this player. She's played quite a few whimsical hands. Here, I can either go all in or check, but against recreational players, I always prefer to play post-flop rather than take spots where I can make them play perfectly by making big shoves like this. She's done a few crazy things. Let's see. Okay, snap check. I'm just gonna check I still have showdown value. We'll see on 4th Street. That's a nice one. I have a completely disguised top pair now.
Crazy. So close.
She's too unpredictable for me to fold. And even if she has something like 2 pair, I still have a small redraw with the 2 of hearts. It's not much, but it could be interesting. Against this profile, I don't see myself folding my ace here at all. She does things that are too random. She bets, how much does she bet? 50,000. She's too unpredictable for me to consider folding. What does she have? King Jack. Well, yeah. No, I didn't think she could have a hand as middling as this one, but it reinforces the fact that I have to call with everything. I was beating her bluffs, but I was also beating her kind of bets with middling hands that shouldn't exist. So a putt that feels good there. Alright, on the button, there's no small blind, there's only one player left to act behind, and I'm just gonna make an aggressive move here with ace-4. It's a bit like if I was in the small blind. There's already almost 100,000 in the middle. All in.
All in.
Alright, that's good news. It's a relatively aggressive move, but here I really didn't have the option to call. To play it post-flop, I had to either... Yeah, that's perfect. I had to either go all in or fold.
The rest deck. You open.
That's what makes it feel better.
I guess
That deck is supposed to be for the later.
so. I guess so.
Okay.
So it's made of clusters, chips, be creative.
Always maintain this dynamic that's aggressive.
Raise it.
Very important because we're playing full big blind ante. Players don't adapt enough.
40?
I think so. 40.
It's defended.
Heads up.
We're playing 10 blinds deep. Jack 6-8.
Check.
Well, I have a perfect hand to bet as a bluff, and no regrets to bet fold if needed.
Bet.
Alright, perfect. A small sizing and it gets through.
Vou bloquear aqui.
And 600,000. The recreational player is eliminated. It's always too bad. We like them.
Pay out 5-3-2. Pay out.
They bring freshness to this game, and it's always good also to see them build stacks from time to time. And we're playing four-handed. Dimitrov opens and I have 9-7 in the big blind. I'm going to defend. Probably one of the worst hands I'm defending here, but I still need to not let myself get pushed around.
Floor 5-3-2.
Middle pair, at least a hand that shouldn't be too difficult to play on the flop. Unless he does something really crazy, I'm just going to call. Perfect. Let's go. Oh, that's a nice one. Okay, that's a very good card for my hand range. I have more 7s than him. I'm going to defend 6-7, 5-7, 7-8 off, which he won't open with. I'm going to lead at a high frequency here, especially when I have trips for a small sizing. It's going to be a chunk on all the rivers except a queen. This is really perfect, plus it's a rainbow board. I really don't have any river that's going to annoy me. Perfect, he calls. Okay. 8 is not the best in the sense that it takes away some of my bluffs with 8-9 for example, 6-8, since now I would have hit a pair which would prevent me from bluffing. Here anyway, there's only one solution, it's to polarize myself and make an overbet. Come on, it's just 3 purple chips and 2 green chips. Come on, come on. That would propel me to almost 1 million here. Ah, he folds, too bad. Yeah. And Adri arrives at the table. It's both bad news from a poker perspective because he's just the best player in the world and he's on my left. But it's good news because I have a Team Winamax colleague, a friend who's also here, and that's cool.
Ça va, Adri?
Plus he seems to be in a pretty cheerful mood today. No wonder he's loaded, really loaded. Okay, my Italian friend comes back. That's good news. A rather enlightened recreational profile, but definitely a good profile to have this deep in the tournament.
Bulgarian.
Oh shit.
Okay, Adri is crushing. He's won absolutely every pot since he arrived. It's pretty crazy.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, well, not much to work with here. I'm just gonna fold. Ace-9 of clubs clear open.
Careful with this one.
Yeah.
40.
Don't say that when you have cards in them.
Yes, of course.
40?
Raise.
40?
Yeah.
Dimitrov on the button. A very good 3-bet spot for him. If he does something, I could consider 4-betting all in.
Re-raise.
We have this player who's very short stacked, who has less than 5 big blinds in the small blind. Okay, he's investing them. He normally has a super wide hand range here. He could have hands like Jack 10 suited. He could have hands like King Queen off. Hands like that.
Okay.
95.
And the question now is, I have all 3 possible options. Can I go all in? No, I'm just going to call. I have 65,000 to put in a pot that will become worth 340.
No, it's okay.
And normally, with a protected pot, I should go to showdown more often, which allows me to call a bit wider than I would have done usually.
3 players going all in. Anything else?
Queen 10-5 with a club. I have the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. The question now is, what do I do if he bets? What do I do if he bets? Small. He should bet something around 80,000, something like that. $75,000. Okay, what could happen if I raise? Could it make Dimitrov folds and I win against the small blind? Calling seems out of the question to me anyway. Yeah, to raise, Dimitrov would need to fold, so he would have had to bluff a protected pot, and I'd also need to beat the small blind. That seems like a bit of a shaky reasoning. I'm gonna take a bit more time because I need to be sure. It's a big pot, but it seems to me to be a relatively easy fold in the end. Plus, with my pre-flop reads that the small blind could have quite a few hands like King Queen, Jack 10 suited. I won't even be able to beat him then, so yeah. It's going to be a fold here. It's going to be a fold.
Pass.
What do they have? Oh, good fold. Wow. They had 2 huge monsters. They had a pair of aces and ace king suited. Only a jack, nothing at all. And it's over for this Chinese player.
Pay out.
We're really at the end of the day now. There are only a handful of hands left to play.
I'm not sure.
I'm going to start taking a bit more time to play as few hands as possible. Okay, this player snap limps 10 deuce offsuit. I'm just gonna raise and try to take the pot pre-flop, and if she makes an aggressive move, I'll have an easy fold.
All in.
Well, goodbye. This player I played against on day one, who was playing a bit wild, comes back. He did some very good things, and some things where he was completely off the mark. But yes, that's very good news, obviously.
On me?
Okay, ace-jack from the small blind against Adrian. Pure raise. And I'm still gonna take my time, because here we're gonna soon reach the end of the level, and I want to be sure not to have to pay the blinds one more time, which would cut into my remaining stack even more. Come on, longer. I need to at least make this hand last for 1 minute, 30 seconds, 2 minutes. It took 10 years of experience. I know exactly how to do it. The good thing is that, in addition, I have a hand that I know I'm going to raise, so the tank will be able to seem legitimate. Alright, 65,000. More than 3 times the big blind. And if Adri goes all in, I'm going to call. I'm going to call happily. Adri should go all in with plenty of ace-x, ace-2 off, things like that I'm dominating, small pairs that I will be flipping against. Well, he goes, come on, I need a good flop here. A single raised pot under ICM. Clearly here I have a huge range advantage. Adri is going to defend a lot of hands that missed, and I'm going to raise super tight here. So I'm going to use a range c-bet strategy for a very small sizing. It's going to have the advantage of making his defense line difficult if he has a hand like Jack 8 with an 8 of spades, for example. Should he call? Should he fold? It's not so obvious, whereas if I bet more, he would have a clearer defense line. I think this is really the only line where a player of Adrian's caliber may have a hard time. And with our stack depth, a pot that will already be at almost 200,000, I'll have no trouble shoving on the turn, or river if they're favorable to me with my hand, which is very strong. He looks really annoyed. He has a lot of hands in his range that aren't going to be good. Even a hand like 9-10 with a spade. It's not very clear. I myself don't really know what I would do here under ICM in these spots. He folds good. There are no small victories, and it's always nice to win a pot against the best player in the world.
You play slow because of that?
You coming?
You play slow because of...
Yes, I don't raise the blinds.
Why I wait to...
And because I'm assured that I don't pay like the 50 is important with a mister.
Yeah, super important. Adri obviously understood my trick.
Two, right?
That's it. Only 2 hands left to play. I won't be in the big blind. It's the end of the day. Mission accomplished.
Game day. Mañana más.
That's Adri's favorite phrase. Obviously, I don't have a stack as impressive as Adri's, but it was a good day of poker. A A little over 600,000. Really this feeling that I delivered a rather good performance?
That's for me? Yeah. Yeah, to the right of the main. Thank you, guys.
We're exchanging secrets with Hadri about certain hands we played.
You had to wait till the 6th card. You had to wait one more card. And good luck for tomorrow, Adri. See you.
Alright, now, the important thing is to go rest. I've already experienced these moments 2 years ago. The same spot. Day 3 of the $10,000 six max, something crazy had happened. There was a stampede. And on day 3, I took a huge bad beat with 2 kings against ace-10 of hearts for a pot of almost 2.5 averages with 20 left. How can I not remember those moments right now? But the reality is that I have a second chance. I'm on day 3 of the $10,000 six max, almost $1 million for the win, and tomorrow will probably be one of the most important days of my career.
We haven't forgotten what happened 2 years ago, Pierre, but we have to concentrate on the present. This new qualification for the semifinals of the $10,000 six max event is indeed a second chance. 28 players remain out of the 502 who registered. While your teammate Adrian Mateos resumes play in second place, you'll have to make do with 600,000 chips, or 24 big blinds. You won't have the right to make any mistakes, but we know that you're currently playing at your best. We'll be alongside you to experience this very important day in your career in the next episode of Inside the Mind of a Pro.